Actually, how many cards in the graveyard? Only 2? Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see here. Alright, well, I guess we will do it again. Okay, I guess they had enough. Okay, so I've been seeing these Squirming Emergence, Sultai, Self-Mill Reanimator decks going around. You may have seen them also. They like to reanimate big bombs like Atali, like Atraxa, things like that. And I'm still kind of on the mill train though, so I wanted to use Squirming Emergence a little bit differently. So what we have here is, it is a Reanimator deck, but instead of reanimating creatures, we're reanimating Jace several times per game to mill our opponent out. So basically the way this works is get Jace on the table, mill bomb them for like 5 loyalty, which will get 15 cards off their library. Then you cast Squirming Emergence to get Jace back onto the table to do it all over again. Do this 2-3 times, and that's usually enough to mill out your opponent completely. The game's strategy here is to hold the line in the early game using your removal. Path of Peril, Gix's Command, Bitter Triumph, and Cut Down are here for that. And you get a little bit of like double duty from each of your removal spells in the form of Founding the Third Path, in the form of Picklock Prankster, and in the form of Halo Forager. So each of these are ways to get those same spells that you want to be casting out of your graveyard over and over. So instead of like trying to draw into like your threats, you basically are using your graveyard as like a junk pile for you to reuse over and over through the course of the game. It's a different form of Reanimator, but one that I've been having a lot of fun with. So that's pretty much the game plan, but to showcase a few cards that are a little underused so you understand them a little bit better, Founding the Third Path is probably one of my favorite sagas ever. For 2 mana, you get a 3-part saga. The first part is you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand without paying its mana cost. So that is Cut Down, that is Bitter Triumph, and that is Mulch. Part 2 is target player mills 4 cards. So in the late game, you may want to be milling your opponent with this, but in the early game, you're going to be milling yourself with this. So this deck starts with self mill and then ends with opponent mill. Hence the name Mill Us. So you want to mill yourself in the early game so that you get spells into your graveyard to use with Part 3. And Part 3 reads, exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, copy it, you may cast the copy. But you do have to pay for the copy though, so you have to be careful with that third part. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to hold the line early with your removal spells, maybe recast a removal spell, or in an ideal situation, use the third part of Founding the Third Path to cast Squirming Emergence to get Jace back onto the table to mill bomb our opponent again. Aside from that, we have Picklock Prankster. The reason she's in here is because of the adventure side, which says mill 4 cards, then put an instant, sorcery, or fairy card from among the milled cards into your hand. So that's any of your spells, or an additional Picklock Prankster, or also a Halo Forager, because that is a fairy as well. The Halo Forager it does something similar to the other like reanimation cards in the deck, but a thing to keep in mind is this card can actually take spells from your opponent's graveyard as well. So if your opponent happens to have something in their graveyard to either further your plan or to help you stay alive long enough, you can cast something from their graveyard too. It's really, really cool effect. But yeah, that's the deck. It's removal, reanimate, spell reanimation, and mill out your opponent with Jace several times. It's a pretty fun deck style. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to stop rambling, and we're going to get on to the games. I'll see you at the end. Okay, so today we have access to blue and black to start, but we also have the Celestis on 3, which will help us cast Squirming Emergence later. So I think we're going to keep this hand. Looks like we get to go first. That's fantastic for us. Doesn't happen too often around here. Let's see what Mr. Lopez is playing today. Let's see what we got here. So we have a Jetmir's Garden, so this is another version of Domain, I'm assuming. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and play Founding the Third Path. We're going to set it to 2, and we're going to mill ourselves with it. Want to get some stuff in the graveyard to double cast. What we got here? I wonder if we can play the adventure side of Picklock Prankster next turn. Let's find out. I wonder if it even recognizes it as a as an instant or sorcery. Looks like it did not. Oh. Let's see here. No, we can't really cast Squirming Emergence. We don't have the mana for it. Are you holding priority for a reason? You got red, green, and white open. But only 1 mana of any of those varieties. I don't know what you could be holding priority on. I decline because I cannot cast the copy. Alright, let's go ahead and just get our Celestis out there. Okay, he hits us with the Play with Fire, so that's what he was using to hold priority for some reason. Surprised to see a card like Play with Fire in like a tricolor deck. Alright. So, our turn, we will take the action and draw a card. Yep, take action. Draw the card. What do we do? Do we want to discard that land? Or discard the Bitter Triumph? I think we're going to discard the Bitter Triumph, actually. Good thing we did, because there's another one right there. Alright, let's go ahead and play our Jace. This is coming out early, but we want to get the mill train rolling pretty quickly here. So I'm going to pay 5 and mill you for 15. Okay, and that puts 16 cards in their graveyard. If they cast anything that goes to the graveyard this turn, we can reanimate with Squirming Emergence next turn and do the draw 3. That goes to exile, and that doesn't go to the graveyard. Alright, Heartflame Duelist. That gives all of their instants and sorceries lifelink. This is a pretty cool card. Really nice art, great effect. Comes with a removal adventure. Surprised it doesn't get played more. Oh, hello. Let's see here. Alright, well, I guess we will do it again. Okay, I guess they had enough. Okay, so we have all 3 of our colors, and we have Founding, Halo Forger, Path of Peril, Squirming Emergence. It looks okay. It's a little light on removal, which I don't like, but we'll keep it and see what happens. So, very nice sleeve you got there. Very pretty. Looks like they're deciding whether or not to keep their hand. Okay, so it looks like they're going to keep. Finally decided. Let's see here. I think we are going to play the Deathcap Glade first. Okay, so they got Haunted Mire, so they might be a new person playing the game for the first time. Let's go ahead and... Do you want to play Founding right now? I don't think so. I don't... Yeah. There's no real reason to do it other than to just start milling myself early. Venerated Rot Priest, huh? Okay. That's fine. Alright, my turn. Alright, let's go and play this Swamp. And now we will play the Founding Third Path early. We'll set it to 2. Mill herself. Try and get something good in the graveyard. Okay, there's a Jace, that's pretty good. Okay. Got a pestilent little pest there. Okay. Oh, it looks like we didn't have anything to play, so the Founding Third Path just went straight on. Okay, we are running out of lands to play, so I need to play that now. So we're going to play Path of Peril. Destroy all creatures with a mana cost of 2 or less. Okay, so they're not having a very good time of it either, so we're going to use this right now. And we're going to emerge Jace. Now, how many cards in the graveyard? Only 2? Well, let's fix that. We're going to mill 5. Target you. Alright. That fixes things a little bit. So, the next Jace that we pull out of the graveyard can actually stay on the board for a little bit. Ooh, I need to get rid of that, though. Let's go and play this. Let's see. 4/4 Trample. What's in the graveyard right now? Actually, more importantly, what's in your graveyard right now? Anoint with Affliction. Ooh, Vraska's Fall. Amia's Safekeeping. Drown in Ichor. He does have 1 mana open, though. Let's see here. Vraska's Fall cost 3, so I need to have 1 more mana on the board in order to play both of those at the same time. So what I'll do is I'm going to Squirm again, getting Jace. And I'm going to mill you for 3 so I can draw 3 cards.
No secret escape.
Nice, there's another Jace right there. Perfect. Okay, so from my graveyard, something that we could cast next turn would either be Path of Peril or Squirming Emergence. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to play another Founding. And I don't really need to do anything from my graveyard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mill your graveyard, or mill your library. There we go. And that's going to give him a very good reason to attack my Jace. He's got 25 cards left. Let's see if he's more interested in killing my Jace or killing me. Okay, he's got another bloat. Okay, he's going for Jace. That is great.
Retreat is the sensible action.
Okay. So, here we're going to cast Squirming Emergence. Okay, it casts, we get Jace back. We auto-pay for that. Jace comes back. And we do -4. And we're doing -4 to give him a target on the table to attack. And we're only missing out on milling 3 cards. So, that puts him to 13. Now, I could just play this other Jace right now. And mill out. Let's see, if I play him completed, he comes in as a 3. And I would only be able to mill 9 cards. So, I think what we're going to do is we are just going to chill for this turn, see what he does. If he's going to attack me with both of his bloated contaminators towards Jace, I won't do anything. But if he attacks me with one and Jace with the other, I'll Bitter Triumph the one that goes after Jace. Okay, he's going after me with both, so I'm not going to do anything. I have no reason to. Alright, he comes at me for 8, and I get a whole bunch of tokens. Resolve all. Okay, we are at 5 poison tokens now. And I will take my turn. Okay, so here we go. We go -X, which is unfortunately only going to be 1. Yellow for those last few cards. Okay, that puts him to 9. So we're going to cast another Jace. Jace comes in. We mill him for the final 5. And remove his deck. So unless he can apply 5 poison counters by the end of my turn, this game is over. Okay. So he's going to give me 1 poison counter. Yeah, that leaves him with 2 mana available. And that'll be it. So he'd rather take his own life than let me rot his mind away. Can't say I blame him. Okay, so what do we have here? We have Dreamroot Cascade, Deathcap Glade, and Darkslick Shores. That's all 3 of our colors. We also have 2 Founding the Third Path, a Picklock Prankster, and a Jace. So we don't have any removal, but we do have quite a lot of action when it comes to milling. So we're going to keep this because I want to play the Picklock Prankster on 2 and kind of get the ball rolling with Founding the Third Path after that. So let's hope that we're not up against like some kind of crazy aggro deck, because that would really suck for us. 2 or fewer lands, 2 or more lands. Okay, so we need to play one of these first. So we're going to play the Deathcap Glade first, then the Darkslick on 2, and the Dreamroot Cascade on 3. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Darkslick Shore, and that is going to give us the Picklock Prankster. We're going to do the Adventure first, free the Fae, so we mill 4 cards, and we get another Picklock Prankster. Collector's Vault, what is that? Draw a card, then discard a card, create a treasure token. Okay, I'm into it, whatever it is. Alright, let's go ahead and... gosh, do we want to play the Picklock Prankster, or... I think we want to mill again. Yeah, mill 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's some removal. Perfect. I'm going to get the Path of Peril to my hand. Okay, so we're up against white-blue now. Interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and cast... Actually, since he has blue mana now, I have a reason to fear... what is it? Make Disappear. So I need 4 lands on the table in order to cast this Founding the Third Path. Okay, he's letting me cast it, so we cast that. And we're going to cast Mulch from our hand for free. Okay, get 2 more lands to the board. Or to our hand, I mean. Okay. And after that, I guess we'll just cast a Picklock Prankster. Alright, he did not counter anything. Ah, Lord Xander, so this is a Reanimator deck. Okay, you have my attention. I do like a good Reanimator deck. In essence, that's what this deck is. It's just my reanimation is more for spells. Oh, there's a Traxa. Okay. Temporary lockdown, huh? Interesting. Alright, well, that got rid of all that. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play. Let's play the Restless Reef into... Oh gosh, what do we want here? Let's go ahead and play the Jace. And then we're going to do it... Actually, how many cards in the graveyard? Only 2? Oh, wow. Okay. So you didn't have anything? Like, you just wanted to just let it go? I mean, I'll take it. I'll take my wins where I can, but I was not expecting that. Okay, so this is not good. We have land and we have Squirming Emergence, but we don't have any kind of like early game interaction here. So this is definitely a hand we want to mulligan away. Okay, so now we have 3. We got Picklock, Prankster, Celestis, Jace, and Gix's command. We're going to keep all except for the Gix's command. Okay, Restless Reef is probably going to be my first land we play, just because we don't have any turn 1 plays. Okay, he plays Haunted Ridge. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Swamp, and we're going to do Picklock, Prankster. Milling 4 cards, and we will get our... Do you want the Bitter Triumph or the Squirming Emergence to our hand? I think I want the Bitter Triumph, honestly. I have a feeling that removal is going to be important here. Another deck running Collector's Vault. Interesting. Is this another Reanimator deck? Alright, let's go with the Celestis. I like the sleeve. It's a good sleeve. Alright. He's going to draw, discard. What does he discard? A 3-fold Thunderhulk. Interesting. Bitter Reunion. Yep, this is a Reanimator deck. How peculiar. Collector's Vault, huh? Interesting Enabler. Okay, let's go ahead and play Founding the Third Path on 2. And I'm going to mill 4 of my own cards here. Okay. Very good, very good. Let's see here. Then we're going to go ahead and play Jace for 3. And we are going to times 3 mill you. Alright. Ditch all that stuff. Granted, I am kind of enabling him by putting all that shit in his graveyard. But it kind of is the game plan. Oh wow, Moonshaker Cavalry. And he definitely wants to put stuff in the graveyard and reanimate them. Alright, my turn. We will exile Squirming Emergence. And cast it. Getting Jace back. Autopay. Okay. Got -5. Doot. Boom.
Retreat is the sensible action.
Mill. That puts him down to 21 cards remaining. That's pretty cool. Let's see. And yeah, I think that's it. Now here's the part where it gets a little shaky though. It's like I don't really have a whole lot left in terms of oh, that's hilarious. That is so funny. Yeah, that resolves. That's so cool. He's gonna get 4 dudes back to the table. That's so stupid. Oh, I love everything about that. Okay, so if I don't draw a Path of Peril next turn, I am toast. And honestly, I don't even care. I'm just glad to see Lich Knight's Conquest go off. And he definitely has enough stuff there to go off. Oh boy. That's pretty nasty. Yeah, just resolve it all. Oh shit, they all have haste? Why do they have haste? Did Imadane's Recruiter give them haste? Oh yeah, Imadane's Recruiter gives haste. Not bad. Okay. You know what? You worked for it. I'm gonna let you have it. Come on in. 20 tokens over there. That is so funny. I cannot be mad at this. This is actually hilarious. Imadane's Recruiter to give the haste. Moonshaker Cavalry makes them all humongous. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm so glad to actually see that idea work. I've been curious about finding a way to make not Moonshaker, but freaking Lich Knight's Conquest work in Standard, and I guess that's how you do it. Well played. Well played. Okay, so we're back with the post-game wrap, and I do have some thoughts on the deck. And so far, for like a first or second draft of this deck, I do like it a lot. I don't think it's as powerful as like the big bombs creature reanimator deck. If you want a deck that's probably going to get you more wins, you might want to go with that one. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, a little more off the beaten path, I think you can definitely do worse than this deck. The removal is good. The only problem is cut down is kind of situational. Really good against the aggro decks, but against decks that have like a lot more of like the bigger meteor creatures, it's going to be a little bit lacking. Founding the Third Path is an MVP in the deck, as I thought it would be, just from the ability to cast and recast your removal spells in the early game is really, really good at keeping you alive long enough to get to Jace. The Squirming Emergence Jace combo is it's chef's kiss. It's a really, really fun way to end games, and probably a way that most people don't really think about. Aside from that, the mulch, I'm actually pretty satisfied with mulch. Mulch as a card, just being able to get you to your land drops, or like just skimming those lands off the top so you don't end up drawing them, is really, really strong. I forget that mulch is in Standard a lot of the time until I play a deck like this. It's a surprisingly good card draw effect, especially if you're playing enough lands. Like on average, you're probably going to be pulling 2 or even 3 lands to your hand, so it effectively becomes a 2-mana draw 3. And the thing is, those things you're drawing are lands. Gix's Command, a pretty decent board wipe. Path of Peril actually has been coming in more handy than Gix's Command in many of the games that I played today. Bitter Triumph. Bitter Triumph is actually a really, really solid removal spell, especially in a deck like this that wants to get cards into the graveyard in order to reuse them. So that additional casting cost of pay through life or discard a card is actually more of a benefit than a hindrance. So it's a pretty decent removal spell, especially since at instant speed you can destroy any creature or planeswalker. Picklock Prankster actually came in pretty handy in a couple of games as well. Not necessarily for the creature half of it, but just being able to mill cards off the top of your library and then getting a key card back into your hand. The adventure on this is really, really good. I like that a lot. Yeah. So I would say overall, it has a pretty decent win rate. It's not anything like amazing, but for like a slower deck that wants to kind of like dirtle around a little bit and just kind of play with its food, it is a pretty fun deck. I probably wouldn't take it to like any like tournaments or anything like that, but for just jamming a few fun games on ladder, it's pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with this deck today, more fun than I've had with a lot of similar decks lately. So there you go. That's the deck. If you want to try this out yourself, I'll leave a link in the description box down below to the deck list, so you can give it a shot. Or hell, even iterate on it yourself and make an even better version of this. It's pretty fun. So until next time, you take care of yourself.